Another driver up from the Nationwide Series. Moving into California. H. Scott Racing.
Did you see what the 11 car Denny Hamlin just did? He went down, he got a little side draft off that 55, almost shot him into the lead.
Tony Stewart told us it's almost like there's a spring there, and if you go down there, it'll just shoot you back to the right, but yet it'll shoot you ahead. But it also stalls that driver out that you're doing the side draft.
Exactly.
Watching the race at the front and the race to the back, Austin Dillon has dropped back. Michael and Danica Patrick trying to get back away from what might happen in this pack as we come down to 24 laps.
This is it. This is when this is so intense at Talladega. You're sitting back there. You see all these cars bouncing off each other. Are they going to make it? That's what you're not sure of. Are they going to wreck or are they going to make it? That's the indecision. That's the indecisiveness that this place creates.
Here comes Allgaier. He wants to lead a lap in this race.
Yeah, Darrell had just spoke about him. Again, we've got this line there in the top, and I think they've got a good enough group of drivers with their cars that are able to shoot this group here toward the front.
Well, remember, that's a great race. That's a Hendrick-affiliated car. Steve Addington, the crew chief, and that kid can drive. So that's a good car with a good driver and a smart crew chief.
Didn't lead that lap. He was 6/1000ths of a second short. Well, if he can get to the front and Josh Wise can get around it, Reddit.com will blow up. You're not going to miss a moment of the action as we go side by side with 23 laps to go at Talladega on Fox. Harvick's number 4 Chevrolet has just led its first lap of the day at Talladega. When he won here in 2010, he led only 2 laps. Time for our sprint, 20 to go. First to 25th. 1 second apart. Don't ask me to pick a winner out of that crowd.
No, you won't pick a winner, but you will see a big one if anything happens. Oh my gosh.
I'm not going to rule out anybody in the top 5 right now.
And that's your sprint 20 to go. What we say at the top of the day, predictions are pointless.
All I can say is cue the music, because I think Jaws is getting about ready to strike. 4 wide right there in the middle of 1 and 2 right now. 4 wide with that 22 car all the way up against the wall.
That's Dyson right there. And a lot of top names in that scrum. Right there, the muddle in the middle. 4 wide, 3 deep behind the leaders.
And like Larry said, right now you're starting, a little bit of panic is starting to set in. How am I going to get from where I am? How's Danica going to get from where she is up through this mess right here? Nowhere to go.
Menard almost didn't give her enough room right there.
Yeah, well, that's
4
the problem.
wide there. Biffle drops in line behind Hamlin 3rd.
They're 3 and 4 wide all in front of you. Where are you going to go?
That leaves Larson without a partner. Clint Boyer trying to come up and cover. They're still 4 wide with Wise way up on the outside. And all the way back to last year's winner, David Reagan in 22nd. First to 22nd, all covered by 1 second.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. back here running 33rd. Now, he's going to either look really, really dumb or really, really smart. And that's the question.
Yeah, he's 3.5 seconds back there. Oh, yeah. That's from here to eternity right now.
You just sitting there, and he's banking on something happening. And why would he do that? I mean, why would he bank on that? Where would he get what would make him feel that way?
Well, what does the trend say, Larry, about the last caution in this race?
Well, we were looking at that earlier, and if you think about the last 10 spring races here, the last caution comes on the average of lap 185. Oh, by the way, that's only 3 laps to go. And of those 10 races, 5 times, including the last 2, green, white, checker.
So, like I said, why would Dale Jr. be playing the odds? Because they're pretty darn good, that's why.
He's been studying the trends.
Right.
And because he has a win. There is no pressure on him to go to victory lane to make the chase. He won the first race of the year, the Daytona 500.
Oh, look, there's cars on the track, and there's a race to be run. That's the reason enough that you want to win.
How about that group that's kind of lagging the field there, Matt?
My Casey came in the 5 car. He's in the back. A lot of debate with he and spotter Kevin Hamlin about just when to make their run up to the front. Now, they were talking about different laps to go, and then with Junior in the back, now they're just waiting out for the big one. Junior said a little bit earlier that he thinks they're going to have a big one with about 10 laps to go. So right now, cue that music, DW, because they're just waiting.
I guarantee you.
All right, Jeff Gordon's just come back out on track, 32 laps down. You see Matt Kenseth in the 20. He is many laps down.
Lap cars, they shake things up a little bit. They make you move around and take a different line, get a little closer to each other.
And how about Clint Boyer up there in that front pack, Krista?
Well, Mike, when it comes to a party, Clint Boyer is the guy who is right in the thick of things. But for most of this race, he's been laying back, playing it safe. Not the case anymore. Clint Boyer, one of those cars who stayed out on that last stop. He's up in front, and he has a secret weapon. His spotter, Brett Griffin, he won the nationwide race with Elliott Sadler yesterday, possibly learned a thing or two.
You know, looking at the Talladega infield, thinking of Saturday night in Clint Boyer, reminds me of journeyman racer Delma Coward from Savannah, who was quoted in Sports Illustrated as saying, "Maybe I never won a race, but I never lost a party."
That's it. Exactly right.
Yeah. Well, Dale Jr. thinks 10 laps to go, there's going to be something happen. And I can tell you what will happen. At 10 laps to go, if something doesn't happen, watch that 88 car. Watch him bob and weave his way up through the traffic.
I keep watching that outside line led by Kyle Larson in that red number 42 car, and it's like they keep kind of inching, falling little by little. Got a pretty good group of cars behind them.
This is David Reagan in the far outside line, also trying to make something happen, Darrell.
Yeah, things have settled down a little bit. That 3 and 4 while we were sitting there for a little while, it's like everybody's taking a deep breath and getting ready to make a charge.
See David Reagan there in that outside. He has about 4 or 5 drivers behind him right now.
Oh, there's a car. Who is that? The 48?
Oh, Logano's in it.
Yep, the
and
48.
Bush and Reagan and more.
The 48 broke loose. Looked like something may have happened to it.
And here come the drivers who were trailing the field, tiptoeing their way through. Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Busch, David Reagan, Joey Logano are among those caught up in this crash at lap 174 with 14 to go.
Cue the music.
Oh, Michael McDowell had a great race going. His car is all torn up.
Let's see if we can figure out what. I thought I saw the 40 possibly. It's right here. Let's see what happens. The car's got damage. We know that. It's got the whole back of the car taped up. Yeah, you see right there? It just starts going around all by itself.
And that was all but in the same area that Brad Keselowski in the 2 car broke loose earlier.
Very, very similar look.
You got a little bit of Ricky Stenhouse's 17, and then the 22 of Logano, the 41 of Busch, the 34 of Reagan, and the 95 of McDowell all pile up. So a 6-car jam session at lap 174.
Look at Ryan Newman in at 31. He came to a complete stop. You can see he stopped so fast the car almost spun out with him.
And the 7 of Michael Annett just sweeped through here.
See the 48 back here, and he has a lot of rear damage. And Larry and I were talking about the back of the car maybe down a little bit, which would take that spoiler out of the air, make it fast, but make it hard to drive.
Austin Dillon might be getting through there as well.
Kurt Busch.
Newman and Annett and Danica Patrick and all those drivers that were hanging out. And just kind of scooped through there.
And guess what? The 48 car, he goes around, he gets him 4 tires, and he's back out on the track.
Riding with David Reagan.
We're in it. Hold what you got right there, buddy. Hold what you got.
Those are hard licks.
That's violent.
When it shakes the driver like that. And here, I don't know what happened to 48. You can see the rear damage and the spoiler down on the right side. I think the car was just a little squirrely in all that dirty air, spun out.
Some left front damage as well. All right, we listened in on Jimmy Johnson and team.
losing, but it just turned around on me. I'd been loose, so I don't know what exactly happened aero-wise, but the back just slowly split out on me.
Another aerial look at it. Two of the sport's biggest stars and champions, Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski, have both had their cars just turn right around in front of traffic.
Yeah, the results were the same. A lot of torn-up race cars in both wrecks.
Yeah, but Jimmy Johnson wasn't 6 laps down. I mean, he was racing for position, but I think that back being knocked down made that car a little loose.
12 laps to go at Talladega. Cash out of turn number 4.
No reckoning to mirror the 2 car, of course. Loose, man. Everybody's really loose. Okay. Well, that'll finish. Let me know you're all right here. Hold on. Wow, somehow I got through it. All I did was make contact with the front rear bumper. I don't know if I got a flat or what, but it just came around into like somebody hit me or I got a flat.
Seven cars involved in this 6th caution flag of the day. Add Reed Sorensen to the wreck list for this one that came with 14 laps to go. David Reagan. Justin Allgaier, about to drive into trouble. To the garage. And
we just watch it inside the in-car camera right there. What happened right there? Take a look at the monitor. Maybe you can give us an idea of what happened.
From a review, 48 just got loose in front of me. It's, you can see right there, he's getting sideways, and at this point he starts checking up, and then when he comes back up there, he ends up getting. It's hard to make a quick move and move up and try to avoid that. For one, you don't know if you're slowing down so much, is the outside lane going to be there? And for two, if you slow down too much, you're just going to get hit from behind. So it's one of those Talladega things, and cars started handling pretty free when we do fuel only, and it changed the balance of our cars quite a bit, and the cars started to become quite a handful, and you see quite a few cars around me at least that I've seen cars get loose, and it's just unfortunate. We had a good show at Pennsylvania forward a lot of laps early in the race. Our car was fast, we lost our track position with 50 to go, and that's what we get. If you get towards the end of these things and you're not towards the top 10, you're going to crash.
Thanks, Jeff. Carl Edwards among those coming to pit road for tires and to make sure they're topped off with Sunoco race fuel to go the distance here. 10 laps to go. If we have overdrive or overtime and green-white checker, that would extend the race distance. Brian Newman, Austin Dillon, Michael Waltrip among those getting service.
I think this just goes to show you how much these drivers have had their hand full. In the past, you never think about coming to pit road to change 4 tires this late in the race.
Terry Milani coming out, and what about Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the other fellows who were laying back behind the pack?
You know what? They always told me if you're going to listen to somebody who's done something.
On the track, so whatever you got to do, you got to stop. Get up to this back. One coming inside. There you go, bud. Whatever. Oh, it's up by the wall. Way up by the wall here. There you go. Watch that 31 all the way, bud. Watch that guy. Watch him.
And when it comes to Talladega, I would listen to what Dale Jr. said, because he's really smart on these races. He predicted 10 laps to go there would be an accident. He missed it a little bit, a little earlier than he thought. But nonetheless, he knew what was going to happen. It was so almost clear as mud.
Clear as mud?
Yeah, it's not very clear. But it seemed like it was going to be.
10 laps to go in Talladega, Saturday night. Something different.
This season's really heating up, and this Saturday night, I'm taking these boys back home to Kansas. And I'm not just going to give them good barbecue, I'm hoping to show them a win. Matt Kenseth.
You can't make this stuff up, man.
More NASCAR on Fox this Saturday night. Don't miss it.
We'll head to Clint Boyer's home state. First, we've got to finish it up here at Talladega. 10 to go. Boyer running 6th. Now, Dale Earnhardt Jr. just talked about his strategy. Before this crash, Jr. was 32nd. Now in the running order, he is 20th. Now, Larry, we've got caution laps, and that may help leaders Kevin Harvick, Greg Biffle, and Kyle Larson, who have the least fuel of anybody on the racetrack.
But I think for the scheduled distance, 188 laps with the number of cautions we've had, I think they're going to be in great shape. But the interesting thing, Mike, when I look at our top 20 drivers right now, only 3 have been to victory lane so far this year. That's Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in 88. But how about half of those 20 looking for their first career win in Sprint Cup?
Well, once again, that little kid in the 42 car, right up there in the middle of this whole thing, and he's one of them. I think if he should win today, he could become the youngest winner. I think Bobby Hillin was
21, 22.
23, somewhere along in there back in the day, if I remember correctly.
All right, we've heard from Joey Logano. Kurt Busch and David Reagan also released from the Care Center after that crash.
I just think the one difference today versus past Talladega races, winning here, winning anywhere is important. It's the hardest thing to do in all of motorsports. But all of these drivers, outside of maybe Kevin Harvick, knows if they can win this race, they can be in the chase in 2014. At a track where other tracks we might not even be talking about a lot of these drivers.
Yeah, well, this is a golden opportunity for many drivers. Some of them got eliminated in that wreck there a minute ago, but a golden opportunity, no. That's not good.
Now that's covering the radiator opening on Kevin Harvick's car.
Man, there might be a piece of trash on the grill, but it'll be fine leaving.
But think about the Daytona 500. Dale Jr., with only a few laps to go, had a very similar situation. I don't know if this thing here would last 9 laps or not. That's a lot of cover. That's covered up a lot of the grill right there.
He might try to get up behind the pace car right there, changes the pressure, and that should pull it right off of there.
Yeah, it's big. Make sure your fans off and go green. Hopefully
It's
it'll
gone.
come off.
It's
got it.
Like magic.
I think you got it, buddy.
Brett Bodine, the pace car driver, former competitor and winner in the Sprint Cup Series.
He probably has a pretty good eye on what Kevin Harvick was doing.
Yeah, he didn't panic. He didn't try to brake check him or anything.
All right, so one Ford Fusion will head for pit road. That's the pace car. Out front will be Harvick's Chevy, Hamlin's Toyota, and Biffle's Ford. As they come down for 8 laps to go, can we make it under green?
What do you like, Mike?
Pace car's got a good shot at it. Green flag. Nice even restart. Harvick in the 4, Hamlin in the 11.
A lot of Toyotas at the front right now, Larry. I see 1, 2, 3, maybe 4.
Trying to start a third line right away, and now
Junior?
he did coming off turn 2.
On the high.
Several drivers lined up behind.
Why Junior?
Yeah, at this point, Larry, no matter what happens, you can't do anything about it now. You've got to stand on the gas,
coming up.
and you've got to go for it. No more laying back.
3 lanes. Harvick leading the inside, Hamlin leading the middle, and Josh Wise on the outside.
What you're hoping for now, if you're Dale Jr. back in there, is there's a place for you to go, get ahead of steam, find a lane, and try to get through it.
Now Allmendinger top side in the 47 with Landon Castle's number 40. Oh, they're going to be 5 wide, but they come to the flag.
It's okay, he's still got plenty of time. No need to panic just yet.
Look, Junior, what is it?
I'll give you the clue. It's time to panic.
Look, Junior, he's got it. He's got the line.
I don't think he was comfortable what was going on there, and he dropped way.
He did. I mean, he's not. Once again, he's got to think that something else is going to happen here. He's pretty intuitive about all that stuff.
With where he's at now, that's the only way it's going to work out for him.
You know what I think, Larry? I think he tried to make a run up through there. He seen he wasn't going to go anywhere, so he said, okay, I'll just fall back now, and let's see if something else is going to happen.
Here comes Harvick around the outside of Hamlin for the lead. Castle in the 3rd lane.
Oh, no. Goodness. race. There you go.
Four wide. Oh, trouble. A car spins into the wall. Turn one. Carl Edwards off Ryan Newman. Caution.
Wow. 2 or 3 cars are down on the apron down there sliding around.
And Ryan Newman and Carl Edwards, 2 drivers that actually hung out at the back a good portion of this race.
Cole Witt was involved in that. There's his number 26. 7th caution of the day, lap 183. Ryan Newman drives away in his Chevy. Now that was well back of the leaders, but it was in that area, in the middle, where drivers were jostling and jockeying for lane positions.
I'm back to the 99. Let's see what it was. Drivers are all complaining about the cars not driving real good now.
There's Edwards on the outside. Up he goes almost into Stenhouse, around into the wall, and into the path of Ryan Newman.
We may have seen, we'll have to get another look at it, that something was wrong with Carl's car and he was trying to signal people behind him. He's got the look of a tire down.
Cole Witt goes to the apron and gets damaged. And let's slow this down a bit and watch for a hand out the window of the number 99 of Edwards.
Right up here.
Top right.
So yeah, there you go. You see his car really? The car start to wiggle, wobble around. He's trying to tell people, I got a problem, I got a tire down, but there's nothing he can do about it.
Almost collected his teammate, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in that 17th.
Goodness gracious.
All right, we'll ride with Jimmy Johnson.
Oh my gosh.
Clear.
That
clear.
was so
clear.
close.
Clear.
But he went right up into the path of Ryan Newman, who couldn't turn down and avoid the 99.
Say about it, process of elimination.
Hey, I've got a flat there. Keep coming low so I get down. No pressure in your mirror. All right, got to come inside here, inside, you're clear. Come on.
Dale Jr., by process of elimination, is going to be up there where he wants to be here very shortly.
Edwards had a competitive car most all day.
Yeah, I talked to him last night. He was so happy with that 99 car. The only Ford driver to qualify in the top 12.
Ryan Newman has made a pit stop. Surprising with the speed with which he hit Edwards. There wasn't more damage on his car.
I know. I guess it's because Edwards was moving. They were kind of going together. It didn't hurt that 31 car all that much.
Hey, guess who's only 1 lap down now?
Hey, another lucky dog. Jamie McMurray's going to have like a whole house full of puppies.
He was 5 laps down, or 6, I think, at one time.
6 or 7 at least.
Yep.
That's right.
Got him a whole litter.
Our producer Barry Landis calls it a litter of lucky dogs today. For McMurray, who got laps down from the crash way back on lap 14. He wasn't in the crash, but he went down to the apron and into the grass and damaged the front of that car.
And based on the drivers that are 1 lap down right now, he and Carl Edwards obviously is going to be a lot more. We get another caution, Jamie McMurray will be on the lead lap.
He may finish in the top 30.
McMurray saying, no, I don't want to be on the lead lap. I like it back here.
Remember when Bill Elliott won here from 3 laps down?
I do remember.
A couple of them up under green.
No, he made them all up under green. That was when he qualified at 212. That car was insanely fast, and he made all those laps up under the green.
We're getting confirmation that Carl Edwards felt like he had a flat left rear tire going soft.
Well, we've got a lot to talk about today with 7 caution flags. Let's get a recap from Chris Myers.
And Mike, we've had 23 different leaders, and the most lead changes, 46 of any race this year. There were only 30 in the race last year. Remember Brad Keselowski, who had the earlier incident on lap 14 with Danica Patrick, was running last, 6 laps down, triggered this event that involved 12 cars, including 5 past champions. And then moments ago, Jimmy Johnson gets a little bit loose. You heard Joey Logano talk about it. Logano has led the 3rd most laps in this race. And the frustration of Chad Knaus shows you why he was upset, because Jimmy Johnson was actually running for a chance to get near the front. And then moments ago, bringing out the 7th caution of this race. And now with 4 laps to go, and you joked about the different incidences that have created drama here. 3 of the last 4 races at Talladega have gone to a green-white checker. That is overtime in regular parlance. Let's listen to what Denny Hamlin, who's your current leader, is thinking about.
Top usually gets screwed up at the end because guys shove middle and go 3 wide high. So I think the bottom is the only lane that has got to run the line and they can't move. Yeah, Temple, I agree. And right now you'd have the 16 and the 15 underneath us there, so that's the best deal.
And Denny Hamlin, who's led under 10 laps in this race since his eye injury in California, remember, kept him out of that race. He has not finished in the top 10, hoping to change that. He did have a top 10 finish back at Daytona. Let's check in now with Jeff Hamlin.
Carl, what happened? I think we lost the tire. We had our plan. We dodged some wrecks, and we're going on the top. I had a tire come apart. I tried to do my best, and yeah, right here I'm thinking, oh man, I wish I could tell these guys. I'm waving. I tried to look for a gap back there, and then guys started filling it, and it really didn't matter because I think I lost it on my own there. Yeah, I couldn't hang on to it. So anyway, we did our best. That was a pretty good little hit there. And after that, I went down the grass, and it appears I ran into some sort of furry animal. I don't know what that is exactly, but got that all over me, so I'm sorry to him. We'll move on to Kansas, where we're going to win Saturday night. It's going to be awesome. Home track, ready to go.
Ready to go, Mike? I'd say that was tire debris. I think they look like tire debris.
Oh, good. I was thinking maybe it was Digger.
No. Digger retired.
That's right.
But I was watching Denny Hamlin, Larry. He's doing it over here in turn 3 and 4. He's down on the apron as if he is very, very low on fuel.
Well, he hit it on last lap 142, and Steve Burns, the fuel runs away from those pickups and those pumps under caution.
It does, and Darian Grubb told Denny Hamlin before this caution, he said it's going to be close. We don't know about a green-white checkered, but we're 1 lap to the good.
The thing that bothers me doing that, there's so much debris on the apron. And you got those hot tires, and you get down there, you can cut a tire down very easily.
It'll be 2 laps to go.
Yeah, the 3 drivers that's going to have to go the furthest, they're the drivers that's running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Harvick, Biffle, and Larson. They pitted 4 laps earlier than Denny Hamlin did.
Hamlin was the runner-up in the Daytona 500. He's winless in 33 restrictor plate starts at Daytona and Talladega. Green flag.
Here we go.
Harvick noses ahead in the number 4.
Yeah, pretty much a drag race right there. To the line, Harvick looks like he might be able to... No, he couldn't quite get it.
And neither one of the drivers back there, Kyle Larson in the 42 or Greg Biffle in the 16, were tucked up behind Harvick or Hamlin on that restart.
If you're going to push somebody, if you're going to bump somebody, and you can do it, now's the time to get the shot. Get on out there.
Landon Castle. That little white car could be the dark horse here.
And he has friends, even though he's sideways right now. Kyle Busch in that 18 car.
Yeah, that 40 car is stopping the 18 car there at Kyle Busch's progress. It caused him to bottle up, had to get out of the gas, almost wrecked him.
If the leader gets the white flag, the next flag ends the race. Josh Wise takes them 4 wide to the outside. Here they come.
Whoa, trouble.
Justin Allgaier. And there is debris on the racetrack, plastic from Allgaier's
no caution,
car.
white flag in the air, they're racing back.
There's a half of a bumper laying right in the middle of the front straightaway right before the start-finish line.
Don't see a caution flag yet. I don't see anything happening. It's all green.
It's just a piece of plastic.
Here we go.
Caution wave.
Caution's out. Caution's out. Stay in front here. Stay in front. Caution is out. There's debris here on the front.
At the moment of caution, where every driver was at, that's pretty much where they finished.
Denny Hamlin has to come around to the flag.
Make sure you make it
the checker. Because once the leader takes the white flag, the next flag freezes the field. The race is over, and Denny Hamlin goes to victory lane at Talladega, his first restrictor plate win.
I normally am not for a caution.
Everybody there, you want to put some position there today.
On the last lap, but they had to.
It would have been all right. I think it would have been okay if it wasn't for this big chunk of the nose laying down here in the middle of the racetrack. That could have been ugly.
That was debris from Justin Allgaier's car, which got tied up, and a couple of cars ended up in a heap down in turn number 1. So the race ends under caution. And we're going to have a look at Alex Bowman at the bottom of the screen. Here's his number 23. Let's watch him.
Now we're coming through the tri-oval, and I think things get... Oh, he got bumped from behind.
By Ryan Newman in the 31.
Newman got into him.
And then the 51 of Allgaier got turned.
Yeah, I think was that the 98 maybe? I couldn't tell for sure which one that was.
And that's where the park came from, was off the front of Justin Allgaier's 51 car. Jimmy Johnson in the 48 gets hit again.
Again.
I think it was Cole Witt that turned Allgaier around. Yeah, it was Cole Witt in the 26.
Yeah, it was the 26 car, you're right. Black and red car.
A lot of damage there to Allgaier's car. Denny Hamlin gets his 24th win in this, his 300th career Sprint Cup start. Last victory was at Homestead, the final race in 2013. This is his 17th start at Talladega. And look at the greats that have won in their 300th Cup start, including two-time champion Ned Jarrett and the United champ Rusty Wallace.
I think this win is big for a lot of reasons. To get that first win and think you can punch your ticket to the chase. But remember, the ISU at Auto Club Speedway couldn't even race there, and the 4 races since, not even close to a top 10 finish.
He didn't drive here last year. Remember, he had a relief driver. He started the race, and Brian Vickers got in the car.
So Greg Biffle, after leading the most laps, finishes second. Clint Boyer third, Brian Vickers. So Toyota takes 3 of the top 4 spots. And A.J. Allmendinger, Darrell's dark horse.
Good man.
Makes it into the top 5.
But even better still, look at Landon Castle in the 40 car. I mean, he was up there fighting for that lead, and he finishes in the A spot.
Now, we need to stress these results are unofficial because NASCAR will go back and look at video. It's not scoring loops on the last lap. It's where every driver was at the exact time of caution.
So let's show you where the leaders were when the caution came out. They mulled it over. They saw the debris on the front straightaway.
Yeah.
Had to analyze, would it be safe to continue the race all the way to the finish line with that big piece there? And the caution's already out here when they decided it is not. The caution flag waved. The lights went on. The race was over.
No question on the top 4. It's the rest of that wad they're going to have to sort through.
Denny Hamlin wins at Talladega.